of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Welcome to March's Astrology and Tarot Preview. So if you've been here before, Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans, you kind of know the rundown, but I will explain. Sorry, something else just came up in front of my face there. Okay. I can't see you. I've got my phone on though, so I can see if somebody's there or not. It'd be nice if you wave or say hi, and then I feel like I'm not just talking into the cosmos. Okay, so what I'm going to do is for March, I'm going to give you the astrology aspects, what's going on from the major aspects from the planets, and I'll kind of read those off and kind of ad-lib it. And then I'm going to pick one card from the major arcana for each of the signs, okay, and also talk about that. And sometimes I like to bring in an extra card for a little helper too. Okay, so you have to be patient because I'm going to go through the signs from Aries to Pisces, of course. And if you know your rising sign, your moon sign, wherever your planets are in those signs, you can also refer to those cards as well. Okay, so how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's good. I've been very busy. I just did a Cosmic Intelligence Agency special webinar on the asteroid Juno on Thursday and my own about the full moon yesterday. So March, okay, 3 planets change sign this month. Mars enters Aries Gemini, so we're going to be talking a lot, thinking a lot, debating a lot. I hope you all can hear me okay here because I can't hear myself. Venus enters Aries, so we're at a brand new beginning. Whenever a planet enters Aries, that's archetypally the first sign of the zodiac, so brand new money, values, relationships, new productivity, everything, new inception of things. And then Mercury enters Pisces. So Mercury will be in this dreamy, creative, psychic, spiritual. It's a good time to do a lot of spiritual work. So the aspects this month are really quite interesting. It is going to be spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. I know Cosmic Intelligence Agency is down under. It's your autumn that's starting. But spring equinox up here in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm up in Toronto, Canada, is a big deal. That happens on March the 20th this year. And it's also called International Astrology Day. So a lot of astrologers give free readings and things like that on that day to celebrate astrology, which has become so popular these days, which is wonderful. Okay, there's a new moon in Pisces and a full moon in Libra. Okay, the new moon in Pisces is going to look really crazy because there's like 5 planets in Pisces. And then on the full moon in Libra, there's also 5 planets in Aries. So we're really, all those bundles of planets that we've been going through in the last while, they seem to be keep moving up a sign. It's going to be very interesting. So the focus is on certain signs every month. So I'm going to just number off here the major aspects. Now there's a lot of sextiles this month, which are nice, easy aspects. Sextiles looks like a little star, you know, the little, what do you call that little star symbol? Asterisk symbol means that the planets are in 60-degree angles to each other. That's an easy aspect. They're in signs that support each other, either both what they call masculine or active signs, or feminine or receptive signs. So Venus, the planet of love and beauty and harmony in the arts, will sextile Uranus and Taurus on March the 3rd. So that can be a day of chaos and big change-ups and meeting people unexpectedly or getting strange love messages, and also money. Uranus and Taurus rules the internet these days. So again, the markets can be kind of all over the place. On March the 3rd also, Mars enters Gemini. So Geminis, you've got the action. You're the forerunners here. Market any new products, you know, just your mind will be very active. It might be a little harder at that time to kind of chill your mind out, okay? March the 4th, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter in Aquarius. Now there is an enormous amount of major conjunctions going on this month. Actually 3 with the Sun, which is really a big deal. Venus will conjunct the Sun. So those are called cazimis. They're very rare, very special aspects. And I'll get to that in a second. So Mercury conjunct Jupiter, March the 4th. Whenever a planet touches Jupiter, it kind of explodes with optimism and energy. And so that's a good one for Aquarius people there. Okay, and also that could indicate, because Mercury represents the markets, marketing tricksters, by the way, could be the market changing itself up as well. So on March the 10th, the Sun conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. It's like blinded by the light, extremely spiritual, very, very creative. So if you're looking for a, you know, to get out of that, any kind of creative blocks or kind of the sloth of despond is the word I want to say there. You know, the Sun conjunct Neptune is like bing, a big light goes on. Now there may be actually metaphysical downloads coming in on that day. Really do pay attention to your dreams. It's about bringing a dream to light, or any kind of addictions, or getting clear or breaking free, of any old addictions that have been nagging you. Also extremely romantic. So blinded by the light, wearing those rose-colored glasses, could fall in love like boom, like that. Okay. March 13th, that new moon in Pisces with all that energy. There's like Venus, Neptune, the moon, and the sun, plus Athena in Pisces. So we're going to be swimming away there. Good time to do any cleansing, again, because that's the last new moon just before the spring equinox. Good time to do a lot of cleansing, a lot of letting go, just like the Virgo full moon, which was the last full moon before spring equinox, which is the beginning of the natural year. Okay, and then March 13th, 14th, speaking of romantics, it's probably one of the most romantic days of the year when Venus conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. Now, Venus is considered to be exalted in Pisces. I mean, this should really be Valentine's Day. Neptune rules Pisces, and so Neptune is considered to be the higher octave of Venus in modern astrology because it represents pure love, unconditional love. And so when those two come together, again, extremely romantic, very creative. Everybody's going to be walking around in clouds. Again, a good day to download any information. Super psychic, really feel that connection, the love we have for everybody else, because we're all connected at source. Again, good time to just channel, totally. On the 15th, Mercury enters Pisces. So again, Mercury, the messenger, also in Pisces. So again, the mind and the spirit, the spiritual world, the psychic energy, the intuitive energy are one. So again, extremely creative. It would be good to book off some time you want to finish any major creative projects and do it at that time, because you're not really wanting to be out and about with Pisces energy. It's kind of rather hidden and cloistered is a good word for that. Okay. On the 16th, the sun sextiles Pluto. So those are always power aspects when the sun and Pluto get together. And that's again Pisces Capricorn. Okay. In the latter degrees, Capricorn's Pluto's about 25 degrees Capricorn right now. So the last 5 degrees of Capricorn. Okay. Yeah, sun sextile with Pluto. Okay. March 17th, Mars in Gemini sextiles Chiron. So again, Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer. Again, we can talk about their wounds. We may want to take off the armor. We may be ready to get more intimate in a relationship. That would be a good thing. Take off the walls, tear them down there. Okay, on the 18th, Venus in Pisces sextiles Pluto. Again, these very nice, harmonious aspects. Pluto in Capricorn rules your career, or if you want to take down your career or make it more creative or leave to do something more creative, that kind of energy usually facilitates that. So on the 20th, Sun enters Aries, again, brand new beginning. This is when we start to really plant the seeds, okay, for the whole year ahead, okay. March 21st, Venus also enters Aries. Okay, so Venus is just one step behind the sun there. Again, new beginnings in love, new beginnings in starting new projects, women coming to the forefront. Aries is the soldier, the warrior goddesses coming up here. And Venus was traditionally the goddess of love and war. I mean, in modern astrology, they kind of took the war out of her. They didn't want her to be strong and fierce and commanding. But now, actually, with the traditional astrology coming back, I think that's a really good thing for women to own their power, not just be fluffy and beautiful and pretty like they are. Okay. Again, March 21st, Mars in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius. And those trines, those 120-degree angles are really positive and powerful. So again, good time to launch any projects where you're working with other people, networking, things like that. Good for talking, and connecting with like-minded individuals. On the 23rd, Mercury in Pisces squares Mars in Taurus. This is really the only major square all month, the only hard aspect all month, which is quite rare. So again, Mercury in Pisces squaring Mars and Taurus. So again, stubborn Mars and Taurus, doesn't want to give up, doesn't want to change. And Mercury in Pisces is just all encompassing. Can't even understand how you could object to anything because they have no boundaries at that point. Okay. So in a way, it's a good thing because Mars and Taurus is very realistic. Okay. So it could be a dream being challenged. Again, this can have to do with cryptocurrencies, the market, things like that. So we'll have to wait and see. On the 25th and the 26th, this is Venus conjuncts the sun, which is called Cazimi. And Venus is now making a new star point. In her 8-year cycle, she makes a 5-pointed star, the pentagram. The number 5 has always been sacred to Venus. Roses have 5 petals. That's why they're always Venus' symbol. And Yulia Simas, who's runs the CIA, she's one of the experts on the Venus star pattern there. So you might want to check out what she's written about it, as well as other people, Ariel Goodman and things like that. So again, that's a good turning point. You want to think back about where you were 8 years ago, for example, when Venus was at a similar place. March 28th, the Libra full moon with Venus conjunct Chiron and Aries could be, sadness in relationships, but a new relationship can start. Libra full moon is all about my relationships, who I relate to, wanting to be nice, but there can be some underlying insecurities around that come out. But it can also be healing. Chiron in Aries, or Chiron in any sign, is where we're the most vulnerable, but also where the greatest healing is. Again, and then on the 29th, the Sun conjuncts Chiron in Aries. So there may be a big breakthrough with some kind of brand new healing mechanism that we've been waiting for, breakthrough in Cancer, or could be COVID even. We don't know what's going to come out of that, but that can be a big healing day. On the 29th, 30th, Mercury conjuncts Neptune. So again, very, very good creative, downloading energy, compassion for ourselves, forgiveness, letting go, stop carrying all that old baggage, resentment, anger around that we don't really need, that's holding us up. It's spring, really. We want to get into the spring energy. On the 30th, Venus sextile Saturn in Aquarius. Again, Venus brings the love. It could be commitments, serious, I'm going to go with this person. I'm going to make a commitment. It could be business commitments, Saturn and Aquarius, new mergers even. And then on the 31st, the Sun sextile Saturn and Aquarius. So anytime, wherever Saturn is, even in Aquarius, any sign, Saturn is what makes things real, what puts bones on everything. So the Sun and Saturn coming together can be new liaisons, again, new breakthroughs. Okay, all right. So now we're going to get down to the tarot readings. Okay, so, all right. So we're moving from the time of Pisces. This is the Thoth Tarot. This is my go-to deck. I've used this for a long time here. In this card, Pisces is the symbol of the moon, major arcana of the moon, number 18. And just to give you a sense of another card, this is the Muse Tarot, very modern deck. This is also the moon, nice pink strawberry moon there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to smudge myself, which I was doing before. I'm going to virtually smudge everybody here. So it's going to be a big month, March. Lots of major changes, especially on those big conjunctions. They're always major turning points. The sun brings everything to light. So I'm going to smudge myself, smudge all you people, smudge my cards. I've got my special crystal here. So what I do is I shuffle the cards and I tune into Aries. So Aries, as the sun comes into your sign and all these planets start to move into Aries, Venus and Aries, you're going to be the stars of the show. All right. And you get the number 7, Aries. So the number 7 in the tarot is called the Chariot. So the Chariot is about being in the driver's seat emotionally. It's about the need to be protected, even though Aries is usually, I'm going for it, They're just jumping in. So it's also related to family, to your mother, to mothering, to children, to home. Your home needs to be paid attention to right now. Are you comfy in your home? I know, of course, everybody's been working from home and mainly forced to be at home. So maybe this is the time where you redecorate your house or you move. Venus and Aries, she can be moving. So this is also about watching the cycles of time. The number 7 has to do with 7 days of the week, 7 sacred planets, 7 chakras, 7 musical notes. So the number 7 has to do with those rhythm of the numbers. And of course, the 7 days of the week are based on the 7 classical planets. So you have to understand, when you go through these big up periods, there's always going to be a down, and don't get stuck in the down. It's going to be up. So learning to ride that wave, okay? It may be a time for you to do a bit of reflection before you move ahead. I know that's hard for Aries to do. Kind of pull all the energy in so you can figure out where you want to go and where you want to apply your energy the best. Okay. All right. So Aries, you get the Chariot. Okay. All right. So now Taurus. So of course, with Uranus and Taurus moving on up there, it's hard for you Taurians to move, but it's inevitable. And so you better embrace change, especially with all that Aquarius energy. I think it's much easier for you to move ahead now. Okay. So Taurus, you get the card of the Empress here, the number 3. So the number 3, the Taurus, is like Venus. And of course, Venus rules or governs the sign of Taurus. And so here we have the Great Mother. She's Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. So Tauruses, I would imagine that there's some love coming into your life. or some strong women, some prominent women, could be your mother that you're having to deal with or pay attention to, or, you know, female Tauruses. It's time for you to really display your beauty, to really show it off, to bring in the gold, to get what you're worth. You know, Taurus is about self-worth. Also, it's about investment. So what are you investing your money, time, your thoughts, everything in, your soul? What are you putting all that into? So this is usually a very fertile card. She's usually shown as a pregnant woman. So what are you pregnant with? What are you conceiving now? What are you going to give birth to? Taurus. Okay, all Tauruses, you know, this is a metaphor, of course, but definitely love. So it's a good positive sign, good energy for Tauruses this month to get the Empress. It's like Venus and Taurus. Again, you're at your strength right now this month, so you do want to move forward. Okay. So, yeah, just asking you to be patient. I can't see the comments coming on. I will go through the signs one by one, and then again, if you have your Sun in Aries, maybe in your Moon in Taurus, you can use those two cards, etc. as I go along. Okay, so Gemini. Now, because Mars is going to be in Gemini this month, again, all the action goes to Gemini, and I don't know if you can see. Here's the synchronicity of the cards. This card here, the Tower, has Mars on it, so this is perfect synchronicity. So definitely, Gemini, things are going to start moving ahead big time, okay? Big blast, you know. Things might start to move too fast, almost like a big blast out of a cannon, which is very much what this card is all about. So the card of the Tower, some things may need to be destroyed or taken down or, you know, just revamped before you can move ahead. So maybe the old ways are not cutting it anymore, okay? So you want to look at that, Gemini people, and look at what do I need to change so I can move forward? You know, you're probably angry and stuck and frustrated, you know, so you want to move forward, especially Mars was in Taurus for such a long time that really, you know, was slowing everything down as well. So, you know, Mars moving into Gemini, that's where the action is. So things are going to move forward. People are going to want to find out what you're all about. There's passion there. You want to voice your passion. You want to put them to paper. You want to put them out there. And again, it can mean a lot of new relationships starting, more than one, of course, or too many jobs or too many things all at once. You kind of like that, of course. So for Mars and Gemini, I would say this is like being hit with a bolt of lightning. This is a wake-up call. So Geminis, wake up. Wake up out of your sleep and get going. Okay. Great. So Cancer. All right, so Cancers. Let's see what Cancers have going on for them this month. So of course, every full moon and every new moon affects Cancers the most, especially the full moons. Okay, so Cancer, you get the number 10 here, the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this is like the planet Jupiter. So Jupiter always brings expansion, opportunity, it's good luck. This is when the doors open. This is when things start to move along really fast, okay? So Cancers, everything that you've been wanting to happen, it will start manifesting for you in March, okay? So it's very fertile, very creative, very expansive. You need to have trust, you need to have faith. The more you feel that the universe has your back, Cancer, the better, okay? I know a lot of you have been, of course, going through very hard times, very sensitive times, but this looks like a big positive turning point for you. So any project, any new venture, any new anything in your home business, of course, these days, diet, any changes you want to make, you can move forward now. Okay, so Cancer, Wheel of Fortune. So trust, have faith. Okay. All right. So Leo. Okay. So Leos are getting a lot of energy through the oppositions of all those planets in Aquarius right now. So Leo, what does your March look like here? Okay. Leo, okay, here's another synchronicity here. You know, when you study astrology, it's fine to know sun signs, but as you get into it a little bit more, you have to understand the planets that rule each sign. So Leo is ruled by the sun, and Leo, of course, gets the sun. Okay, good. So Leo, you should be shining brightly, being your beautiful, positive, you know, charismatic, you know, leader, you know, so just let the gold out, you know, let the gold out. You know, shine, it's very positive, very happy. It's time to celebrate. You know, the card of the sun traditionally shows these two little children playing and dancing under the sunlight. So, you know, maybe after a long period of trials, things start to look better for you. There's improvements in relationships, there's improvements in business. because for you, Leo, all of the Aquarius energy is in your solar 7th house of partnerships, relationships. So this should be good. So count your blessings as well, Leo, because you don't want to take that for granted. It could be more money coming for you, success, leadership roles. Again, big-heartedness. Your heart might be, bursting with pride about something positive. Could be with children or any kind of, again, creativity. The sun is the source of life. So bringing new life, bringing your leadership skills to help everybody else, to lighten everybody else up. So definitely it's a very positive card for you, Leo. So definitely go for the sun, go for the gold. Okay. All right. So Virgo. Okay, so Virgos. Again, as all that energy moves into Pisces, again, this tips the balance towards the other side. Okay, now, so Virgos, you get the symbol number 13 here. Now, don't get scared. This is the symbol of death and rebirth, Scorpio. Okay, so a lot of change coming. Whenever the number 13 shows up, it's about change. It's about letting go of old habits or things that you can't stop thinking about or obsessing about, or the perfectionism or the inner critic or the worry, all of that stuff. You got to cut it out. Cut it out, Virgo. We've just had that Virgo full moon as well. So again, that was a time of, again, releasing. You can't go any further with the way you've been doing things. So this is a card of freedom, actually. It breathes new life into things, Virgo. So it can be a big change in your work. In terms of your health, these can all be very positive. Your resources, again, community, getting support coming from the community. Very deep dive into what's going on below the surface. This Scorpio rules the soul, rules the deep emotions going on underneath the surface. So maybe having a clear insight to patterns, old karmic patterns that have been holding you back, because Scorpio and the 8th sign relates to karmic patterns. Okay, it could be inheritance. It can be things that you literally come to you from other people, wealth, money, taxes. So it can be big breakthroughs as well. Okay, so don't be afraid of the death card. Okay, something always has to die for something new to be reborn. I mean, a lot of people, of course, have been experiencing a lot of deaths personally in the world. We're all aware of that. But death is nothing to be afraid of, because ultimately people never die. They are all pure, immortal spirits that just keep coming back. So Virgo, okay, much change in your life. Embrace the changes. Okay. So Libra, again, so you're getting ready to have a big full moon, okay, on the 28th. Okay, so Libra. All right, so for people born in late Libra, of course, Pluto is still giving you these hard aspects. Now, this is a separate special card that I keep in this deck. There were 22 major arcana, and this extra one, which is called the Invisible Sephiro, called Da'at. I like to call it the calling card from your guardian angel. So Libra, this is a sign that your guardian angel is reaching out to you. Everybody has a personal kind of guardian angel, which are also related to the fixed stars. You might have your own ancestral guardian angels. You can have many guardian angels, but this is a sign, Libra, that you need to trust your higher self, your holy guardian angel. That's the whole purpose in the tarot, is to have that conversation, to only listen to what your higher self tells you, not the mind, not the ego, not your fear, but your higher self. And if you start listening to your higher self, that's the real relationship that can never go wrong, that you never have to be afraid of losing. So this is a good time for you to do the spiritual work, to connect to your higher self. If you've never done this before, your guardian angel is always waiting for you. You just have to ask them to give you signs, ask them to speak to you, ask them to come to you in your dreams. If you have tarot cards, you invoke your holy guardian angel before you do the cards. So this can also take the form of someone, another person acting as your guardian angel. So this could be a lucky break, Libra. Somebody you know, maybe somebody you don't know. It could be very random even. But definitely, I always take the meaning of the cards as being what you can do personally to connect with them. So begin to imagine in a meditation that you have this guardian angel. You could see it as a ball of golden light above your head. It's intelligent. It loves you unconditionally. It's there to protect you. So do not be afraid of being alone. Okay, so it's a very positive, very powerful time for you. Okay, so I would really embrace this and inquire about it and think about it. I mean, if you want to do the research, this is a very kind of obscure, in a way, Sephiro based on the Kabbalah. Some people say it's like Pluto. I personally don't ascribe this kind of modern planets to these cards, but as real archetypal energies. Okay, so Libra, connect with your holy guardian angel. That's the big relationship you're going to have. Okay, so that's major. Okay, so Scorpio. So if you have planets in Libra, you might want to look at where, through which planet, the moon, your rising sign, Venus, whatever, connects to your holy guardian angel. Okay, so Scorpio. This is the Hangman, the number 12. Again, this is a major arcana. There are 3 special cards or letters in the Hebrew alphabet. This is one of them. This is like going through a baptism, a cleansing, a total reversal, like the upside down world of everything you thought was happening or the way you were seeing things. And this is really important because psychologically we can get stuck on interpreting things one way and totally getting blind to seeing things another way. So this is where you have to inquire, is this really true? Is this assumption I've made about things, or is this the way I thought it was going on is really what's happening? Because this can be incredibly freeing, Scorpio, okay? So look at things in a totally reversal way. Now, this is a kind of shamanic initiation as well, to do everything totally opposite to the way you normally do, okay? So, if you're a person who's always obsessing about things and can't let go, you have to learn to just let it go. This card is about surrender. It is the Nordic god Odin, who hung himself voluntarily from the world tree, okay, to retrieve new knowledge, to get access actually to the rune stones, which is an ancient Viking alphabet, and connecting to the earth energy, connecting to what they call chthonic energy, ancient earth energy, not the mind, okay? And so doing everything very differently, seeing old situations in a different way, new situations, future situations, okay? And surrendering to what you cannot control. Now, for a Scorpio who likes to be in control, this is the hardest thing to do. You have to let go. It's almost like, an AA program. You have to give it up to God, or whatever, some divine intelligence, whatever you want to think it about. I can't control this. I just have to let go, okay? So it is a kind of emotional baptism, but it frees you up big time, Scorpio. So the more you can just let it go and just see what happens, even as an experiment, that's a good thing to do, okay? So, and don't get hung up, okay, on things. All right. So Sagittarius. Okay, so now we're getting into the Sag, Cap, Aquarius, Pisces, the last 4 signs here. So Sagittarius, you get the Lovers. Okay, so this is the sign of Gemini, which is your opposite sign. So again, another indication that definitely the focus is on relationships, love relationships, partnerships. If you're already in a relationship, it may mean that you need to pay more attention to your significant other. Bring back the love, fall in love with each other again. Pretend like your first meeting, go back and review your vows, renew your vows, and it's always about the inner marriage, the inner connection of the inner masculine and feminine. I know these are not these days genders, or we're trying to degender astrology, but they are just polarities, and the universe is based on polarities. We need these polar complementary opposites, negative, positive, day, night, yin, yang. Those exist, and their magnetic energies is what creates everything. So this is about you bringing together your own intuition, what they call the feminine function, the receptive function, the more internal function, with action. Okay, and the feminine always comes first, the intuition comes first, and then you act. So bringing those two together, so honoring each other, also the masculine honoring the feminine honoring the masculine, brings ourselves into balance. Again, any relationships with others, it can be business connections. This is Gemini, marketing in a new way, putting your energy into what you love to do. So this is very good for Sagittarius. Okay, the Lovers. That was my cat. I don't know if you could hear her. Okay, so Capricorn. All right, so Capricorns. All right, this is another form of the Lovers. Now, this is the number 14. It would be considered to be a higher octave of the Lovers in a way. This is called Temperance in the tarot traditionally, and in this deck it's called Art or Alchemy. So it's about turning lead into gold. Now that metaphor is a metaphor for Saturn, which is lead, or the hard things, the heavies, the karma, the limitations, the obstacles, into gold. Gold is always the sun, the light, so purifying. So transmuting, it's alchemy. Anything that's been bugging you, Capricorn, or holding you down, go in there and find the riches. What did I learn from this, as hard as it was? What did I need to learn? What can I take out of this that's going to serve me well right now and in the future? So again, this can represent this need to be in a sacred partnership, a higher partnership where, you know, you're getting beyond your personal ego things and really develop that sense of being able to communicate and talk to each other from your own higher self. So it brings up, it elevates your relationship. So Capricorn, this is like seeing things in a whole new way. Very creative, actually. If you've had losses, again, they can become gains at this time. Look at where you're limiting or holding yourself back and where the riches are in that you can transmute. Literally, it can be gold, you know, any golden opportunity coming to you. Sagittarius energy, dealing with foreign companies, banks, things like that. But definitely about a transmutation within yourself, which is very enriching, Capricorn. So this is good, okay? This is a very good thing. Also can mean meeting a significant other, that kind of soulmate energy as well. Okay, so each card can be interpreted on many different levels. Okay, so number 14, Capricorn, temperance or art. Okay, whoops. Oh, my card just fell over there. Oh, okay. So Aquarius. So Aquarius, of course, you're getting the bulk of the planets these days. So Aquarius, okay, you get the number 20 here. So the number 20 in the tarot, again, this is not the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It has different numbers and a totally different interpretation. Traditionally, this is Judgment Day, number 20. It's interpreted as the awakening or the Aeon. I've seen many different references to it. So the Aeon is the current new age, the Aquarian age. So for Aquarius, this is your time to really step forward, to be the leader, to take us into this, you know, incredible new world, new vision. I had a dream about this last night, actually, about people really living together, people really being equal, about the old order dying, you know, the 200-year cycle of Jupiter and Saturn and Earth signs, that's all ending. So this is a card about releasing yourself from old judgments or old paradigms or old ways of doing things. So because Aquarius is always very, very inventive. It's about thinking about things that have not been invented yet, letting your own genius or your own Juno come in. Juno is the feminine form of genius, to create something new. So it is the birth of the divine inner child. So it has to do with healing our inner children, which all of us have. So reparenting them, letting them know that they're loved unconditionally, transforming, transmuting, coming out into the world in any new way, however you define yourselves, networking. Again, very, very creative aspects here. Okay, so releasing yourself from old judgments frees yourself up. So this can also be an indication that this is the energy happening in the world in March as well. Okay, all right, and now Pisces. So as Mercury enters Pisces this month, and then there's going to be that big pile up of planets there. Pisces, you're taking center stage here. All right, so you get the number 8 here, which is, you can see that this is the symbol of Libra, the scales of justice. Okay, now, in some tarot decks, Libra or justice is 11. In some decks, it's 8. That's an interchange that was done with different decks. So, you know, it just depends on what works for you or what deck you're working with. But this one, it's number 8. So this is the scales of karma or justice, Pisces. Now, you know, I think you're very hard on yourself and you tend to beat yourself up and guilt yourself. But I think you really need to take your guilt and weigh it against the feather of Maat, which is what this ancient symbol is all about. Maat is an ancient Egyptian goddess, and in the Egyptian tradition, you know, they took out your major organs, and then after you've died, your heart would be weighed on Maat. She's this ancient goddess of karmic justice, against her feather. She wore an ostrich feather on her crown, and if your heart was heavier than her feather, then you would have to come back to earth and reincarnate. Okay, so I always thought this was such a beautiful story because the goal is that your heart should be as light as a feather. So whatever old regrets or guilt that you've been holding on, Pisces, this is a time to weigh them out and maybe see that you really have nothing to be guilty about. You know, it always takes 2 to tango, so stop blaming yourself, okay? This is about achieving balance in your life, harmony. Again, Libra is the sign of relationships. So again, there can be new, especially with all those powerful Venus, Neptune, Sun conjunct Neptune, very positive. It's very much a Pisces time this month, very creative, new collaborations, new creativity, new balance, new peace in your life. You know, everybody wants to have some peace. And you could also be the peacemaker, the go-between for other people. It's also about ending old cycles, I would say, as well, Pisces. So again, bring your life back into balance. It's very creative. It's very beautiful. It's about rewarding yourself. I think you tend to deny yourself because this is ruled by Venus again. So Venus and Pisces exalted. Reward yourself. Do something nice. Do something beautiful. Give yourself a gift. Okay. So again, the scales of justice. If you've been in a literal court case or any kind of legal issues, there should be a balancing out time for you as well. So again, find your own inner poise and the place where you're balanced within, because this is also a card of marriage. It is the number 8. So, in the Chinese system, the number 8 is the number of wealth and success. So it can indicate new good business relationships, new jobs, a sense of more harmony at work. And also the number 8 is the infinity symbol, indicating that all time is now. So again, realizing that you're always at choice in the moment, anytime you want. Okay, so freeing yourself up that way. Okay, so again, if you have any planets in Pisces, you can refer to the card of justice here. Okay, so karmic justice. So trusting that those who have transgressed will get their dues. Okay, all right. So I'm going to also pick another card here. My intuition is saying you need one card to represent the whole month of March. I'm going to use this beautiful Muse Tarot here. Okay. So, okay. So what does everybody need for March? All right. So in this deck, okay. Now in this deck, again, this is the Hangman, okay, which is called the Hang Muse because there are no masculine elements in this deck. So again, it's all about letting go. All we can do is surrender to what is and be fully in the moment. Okay, not getting hung up on the appearances of the world. I think Venus and Pisces is all about not getting hung up on the appearances, the illusions, seeing through them. Okay, so again, freedom is kind of an emotional baptism, a cleansing. I want to wish everybody a very happy March. March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb, they say. So we'll see. So wishing you many blessings from the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. If you want to follow up with me, I'm at taratarot.com. So blessings to you. Speak to you again soon. Bye.